Good evening and welcome to the AGSN coverage of the Iowa caucuses. I'm John Carpenter. The Republican caucuses have just finished counting the presidential preference ballots across the state, while Democratic selection processes are still ongoing. As we await the four results, let's take a look at some of the entrance polls we've compiled over the course of the evening. As you can see, there seems to be a fairly even split between moderate and far-right caucus goers among the Republicans. There also seems to be a fairly even split between male and female caucus goers as well. These sorts of splits tend to help Kyle Fitzgerald because he's the candidate of the Republican base, whereas Doug Butcher derives a lot more of his support from the moderate factions of the Republican Party. The relative lack of moderate caucus goers as well is a concern for the Doug Butcher campaign because he shares a lot of those voters with Secretary of State Stephen Hamilton. For the Democratic side, there seems to be a fairly large portion of Democrats describing themselves as left or liberal, with smaller amounts than the Republicans for far left or far liberal or moderate. On the Democratic side, this is being considered fairly neutral ground for any of the candidates because, unlike with the Republicans, most of the Democratic candidates fall between the center-left to left side of the political spectrum. We are now momentarily expecting the results, or at least the preliminary results, of the Iowa caucuses on the Republican side. Now I'm being told this is about 5% of precincts reporting on the Republican side, and this is showing now for Kyle Fitzgerald to be ahead. He's at 50% of the vote with 3,307 votes. Doug Butcher following with 2,745 votes, that's 42%. And Stephen Hamilton trailing at 531 votes, that's 8%. Obviously, it's early right now, but Kyle Fitzgerald so far ahead in the Iowa caucuses.